Okay. All right. And record. You guys are seeing me in my blue light glasses as I look behind the curtain. When you're editing a video every single day or multiple videos in a day or talking to leaders on Zoom, you got to protect your eyes. It's important. All right. Today, we're going to hit the 3-minute takeaway mug. It's weird when it feels so full of prompts there at the end. It was getting to the bottom. I'm trying to do it where they're not falling out all over the place. All right. Let's see what we got here. The best leaders lead themselves first. The best leaders lead themselves first. Okay, let's put 3 minutes on the clock. Here we go. You know, I heard many years ago that the hardest person to lead is the person sitting in your chair. And that's so true. As leaders, it's easy to point out what other people are doing wrong, especially if you've been doing what you're doing right now and you've been doing it for a while. You start to grow into your role. You start to learn the different patterns of success and the things you should be doing and the things you shouldn't be doing. And you do that over time, whether that's 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years. And then somebody new comes in and it's very easy to want to nitpick and to get them to do what you think they should be doing, all while the organization or the business is growing. And that's where the trap is, because a lot of times I work with leaders and find that they are so busy thinking about everybody else and what everybody else should be doing, they don't think about themselves growing. They don't think about leading themselves well. And I think that could be a trap. It could be a frustration trap in our leadership, keeping us constantly frustrated. And it could also be a blind spot trap. We fall into this blind spot of not seeing that we aren't personally growing, that we aren't personally staying ahead. And it goes back to John Maxwell has the law of the lid, right? You can't attract people who are better leaders than you. And as the organization is growing, you should be growing so you can get better organizations, better leaders for the organization. So what can we do about this? I want to use a good piece of my time to what we could do about this, because the first thing that came to mind when I read that is the power of reflection. The power of reflection. This is how we get better as leaders. Do we take time to think about what we're thinking about? Think about last week. How long last week did you sit down and reflect? Did you take 20 or 30 minutes or an hour? How many times did you do that per week to sit down and think, what's going well right now? What's going well? What do we need to do more of? And what's going not so well right now? What do we need to fix or do less of? It reminds me of the Pareto principle and known as the 80-20 rule. Might be how you heard of it. But 20% of the activities and the things you are doing as a leader is driving 80% of your results. And the other 80% of things you're doing is only driving 20% of the results. So what are your top 20% activities? What are the things you're doing on an everyday basis that's driving 80% of your results? Have you reflected on those? Are you working on those? Are you staying ahead of the organization and the business with those? Leading yourself well before you just hand out criticism and critique and correction to others on how they are or are not growing in the organization. Hardest person to lead is often the person sitting in your chair. Hope there was something in there for you. Hope that helped today. I'll see you tomorrow.